to budget, save, and spend wisely, and answers to all your questions. Money Sense, your weekly guide to financial freedom.
My friend, time now money. Make you not play with your work, yeah. Time na money, oh. Time na money. Time na money, oh. Time na money. Time na money, eh. Time na money. Make you use your time well. No waka waka. No gossip gossip. No spoil another man. Use your time well. Do better thing. Money not dey come from heaven. Do better thing. Money go come. Na true word I dey tell you so. Money na so. Hey. True word no be cheap, my brother. No dey spoil person o. E no good, you hear? Time na money, eh. Time na money. Make you use your time well. No waka waka. No gossip gossip. No spoil another man. Use your time well. Do better thing. Money no dey come from heaven. Do better thing. Money go come. Na true word I dey tell you so. Money na so. Hey.
Yes, a very beautiful afternoon, and welcome to another edition of Money Sense on iPower 102.7 FM. Like I always say, the program is designed for your financial prudency. All we talk about on the program is how you spend your money. Yes, how you spend your money. How your money is my business. We talk about how you make decisions, your financial habits, and the realities that affect your pockets. Today we're looking at something very personal, very, very close to home.
Time na money, oh.
You understand that most of the time, young people are forced to become very responsible at a very young age.
No waka waka. No gossip.
It is tagged a family responsibility.
Use your time well. Do better thing. Money not dey come from heaven.
So today we're looking at the question, should you stop helping your family if it affects you financially? The moment you start helping people and you become broke yourself, should you continue helping, or should that be a yardstick where you should limit how you help or come through for people? Now, before you can even talk about that, I want to believe there are reasons why we feel obligated as persons to want to help. Now, one of the reasons I feel, or one of the many reasons I feel most young persons feel obligated is the fact that, first, we have this cultural importance for family. Before I came on the program, I saw a post where a lady was complaining that her mom needs to leave her house because she's tired of being responsible for the mother. That far back as when she was 16, she has been taking responsibility, even paying the house rent where they live, the mother, her siblings and herself, right from 16 and up until now. She's now 32. She's still taking financial responsibility, and at the moment she's exhausted, she's overwhelmed, she's tired, and she's coming out on social media to say people should please beg her mother to leave her house because she's drained already. How did we get here? So yes, one of the reasons why people feel obligated to want to help is because of the way our culture makes it look like, okay, there's this cultural importance of the children taking care of their parents. And yes, at some on the flip side, parents tend to want to take care of their children because of when they get old too, the child should be able to take care of them in return. But these days, what we notice or what we've seen is that people don't even wait for the child or the children to even get older. Most of the time, the children are faced with responsibility at a very young age. And yes, one of the reasons why you will feel obligated to help again is the fact that in this part of the world, we see older siblings become more responsible for their younger ones. An average first child or an average first daughter or first son is saddled with the responsibility that, okay, because I'm the first child of my home, I should be able to cater for my young ones, which is not really the case in all sense of reality, but that is where we find ourselves today. And of course, the expectation that when I make it, everyone in my family has made it. So yes, that will also want to put you on your toes, because you feel, since I'm doing well, everyone should appear like they are doing well, even when they tend to sabotage the favor you do for them, even when they tend to feel entitled to the help you're giving them. You still feel the need in your head that, okay, since I've made it, everyone should make it, or everyone should appear like they've made it in my family. And of course, we avoid being labeled selfish. Imagine they tell you she has money or he has money, and his parents are suffering or his siblings are suffering. Most of the time, we want to avoid being labeled selfish. So we go out of our way, even when it's not even convenient for us as persons. We just want to help, even when we're being drained. There's a video of a guy that circulated some months back where he's outside the country and he's actually into security outfit or something, and constantly they kept pressuring him from home. Pressure was so much from home that the day they found his body lifeless on this bed, the last person that called him was the same mother who constantly rebukes him, tells him he's not doing well because he's not sending money back. So yes, most of those reasons or most of the reasons I already outlined now are the reasons why you would find yourself helping even when it becomes not convenient for you. From heaven to better money. And of course, the pressure placed on those that earn more in the family. Because you earn more, because you work in a good place, everyone just automatically feels you should be able to shoulder the expenses, whether or not it's okay for you, whether or not it's convenient, whether or not it's training you. Nobody seems to understand, or nobody seems to care. They want you because you earning more. You should take you should shoulder their responsibility, and they should live fine off your own job. Now, I would like to ask a simple question. Does any more automatically means you should take responsibility for everyone around you? And have you ever received a financial request from your family when you are still struggling? Or has there been a case when someone calls you for financial obligations, and yourself, you are in a very tight spot, but you felt obligated to help, or you felt, oh, it's my responsibility, I just need to come through even when it's not convenient for you? Time na money, oh. Time na money. Time na money, oh. Time na money. Time na money. At what point does financial responsibility becomes problem? At what point does helping people becomes financial problem on your part? Use your time well. Do better. Money from heaven. Do better. Imagine someone earning 200k, and after making a budget of the rent, the feeding, accommodation, transport, data, everything amounted to like 150k. Now you're left with 50k for your unforeseen contingencies or anything that happens, only for you to get a call from your mom asking for 20k, only for you to get a call from your sibling asking for 15K. Now 20 plus 15 makes already 35,000. Before you know it, one distant relative is calling you and asking you for maybe 10K. And you know the picture they paint in the head is that okay, he earns 200K, so 10K, ordinary 10K should not break him, forgetting that you have your own responsibility to cater for yourself. And I haven't done that, you are left with 50K. But how many persons will you tell that okay, after I removed all my miscellaneous, all my own personal expenses, I have less than 5K to myself? Now when other people call you, and because you don't want to appear like the bad guy, you ended up what giving out their request, you're left with 5,000 naira. Now, when you sit down as a person, have you made a good financial decision or have you made a bad financial decision? Ask yourself. Now, one thing I want you to draw out from all of them, all what I've been saying since, the fact that helping someone is not a bad thing. It's good to be generous, yes, but givers never lack, so they say. But it is very important that you know when to draw the curtain. You cannot be giving and giving and giving to a point you yourself that was the giver. You see, I'm using words now, becomes a beggar. Because I'm sure the same persons that drained you to the point you can no longer help yourself will still ask you, okay, well, how did they even spend the money? After all, just 10K I collected, and it's earning 200K. Nobody wants to know what's up. So at what point should you now have a restriction when it comes to giving? Yes, I also want to ask a question. At what point does saying no makes you not feel guilty? In this part of the world where people feel they are responsible for others, it is very hard for those that feel okay. I am supposed to be there. I am supposed to take responsibility for my siblings, for my parents, and all of that. It's almost hard when they get to say no because they tend to feel some type of way. Even me, at times you come to me, you ask for a request, and I'm turning you down. Not because I want to turn you down, but because at the moment I am not just buoyant to help. But even when I have said no, I end up feeling bad for myself, like I wish I could just come true. Yes. So at what point does saying no doesn't have to come with any guilt? Now, one thing I want you to know is that it is okay to tell your mother no. It's okay to tell your siblings no. The guy that I said died outside the country. If you are just being man enough to just tell them, say everybody should just be on their own for now. I am still struggling. I am here to find my fittings, and just be strong enough to say no. I'm sure by now it's still going to be alive. So yes, it is okay to say no. It's okay not to be able to help everybody at every time. It's okay not to be able to come true for everybody at every time. It is okay to know when to help, so much that when you start seeing your bank account, you're exactly getting drained. It is okay to say, this month again, for the rest of this month, I'm not going to come through for any. It is okay. So yes, it's okay to say no to your mother, to your siblings, to your loved ones, to your very keen relatives. It is okay to say no. So yes, when you feel giving or helping others has become a financial problem to you, it is okay to say no. And also, as a person who loves to help or who loves to stand in the gap for others, you should be able to denote when financial family support becomes entitlement. In this part of the world, we've seen cases where people give birth to like 6, 7 children. I am not saying giving birth to plenty children is a bad thing. I'm not saying that, but it becomes worrisome when you give birth to children you cannot cater for because, in quote, you have one rich sister who has just one, so she's not really doing too much for her one. She should be able to help with your 2 or 3 kids. So yes, you as a person that is trying to make good financial decision, You should be able to draw the line where your family support becomes entitlement. When your sister who has 7 kids wants to mandate you to take care of her 3 because your own is just 1 or 2, which is not so much, you should be able to draw the line. When someone feels it is your responsibility that they feed 3 square meal, when you yourself hardly get to eat twice a day, you should be able to draw the line. When you feel, or when you begin to see yourself as being the fool because they feel, oh, when you can't meet her, she won't be able to say no. Just go and meet her. Go and ask her. She always has something to give you, even when it's not convenient for her. Yes, she wants to draw the line and be ready to say no over and over again.
True word not dey cheap, my brother. No dey spoil person o, e no good, you hear? Time na money, time na money. Make you use your time well.
Yeah, we've been asking ourselves, when does financial responsibility becomes a problem? How does helping one's family affect your finances? And I've been able to outline different reasons why in the first place you want to help so much that it becomes a problem to your finances. One of the many reasons is the fact that we have this African culture we have this cultural importance for family. There are places where you get to around the globe where once you're 18, your mother just leaves you. You're now an adult, and once you're 65, you become the responsibility of the government. So it's not like in this part of the world where you become, the moment your parents are getting aged, it is now your responsibility to make sure their life is soft and all of that. You understand? Even in this part of the world these days, it is very sad that parents who did not go the extra miles for their kids wants to make the child go through thick and thin to ensure that they are comfortable. How did we get there? Parents who did not even bother sending you to school, who did not even bother, ensuring you have basic education, wants to call you at all time when they have needs, and they want their needs to be met. So at what point does your financial obligation or support becomes a problem to yourself because you become drained financially? So like I said, one of the things that actually gives us this mindset is the fact that our cultural importance, there's this cultural importance in family when it comes to this part of the world. And also parents sacrificing for their children because they believe in the nearest future, the child also will sacrifice for me. And also we have this mindset of older siblings should be responsible for their younger siblings. So all of these are the things that brings about the mindset that yes, once you're financially stable in the family, you automatically man up to become responsible for others. And of course, with so much fear to be tagged selfish. Yes, many times you don't want to have that bad name or that bad record or that person that when they call on and the whole family say, don't call him more because he will not answer you. Yes, we avoid being that person. We avoid being the bad guy. So even when the help now becomes a problem, now gets choking, now gets draining, we just want to wallow in it instead of telling ourselves the harsh reality and reminding ourselves we cannot save everybody. Because how do you tell me you are trying to save somebody before you know it? They even get better than you. Yes, I saw a post of a guy who says every month he constantly sends his half sister or something a particular amount of money. Because this woman constantly calls him to say, we have not eaten, your younger ones have not eaten. They are not even direct family, yeah? But it's still mapped out for this particular woman. Only for him to go to travel home unannounced. And in fact, before he got home that said day, the woman called a day before, still crying in her usual way. We've not eaten since morning. We don't have money. Your siblings they are starving. And he still sent. Only for him to get home and he said, this woman has like 3-bedroom furnished apartment. And he was asking the woman, ma, how are you able to achieve all of this if you constantly tell me that you've not eaten? What the woman replied was, did I ever force you to give me money? So that is how much people can go to milk you if they know you have the syndrome of not saying no. If they know you are a saver, if they've tagged you on, just go and meet him. Any amount you need is going to come true for you. Once they see you as the mugu, they can go as far as milking you. Even the guy, he was not lamenting that even him himself does not even have a block to his name. Yet the person that cries for feeding every month has a roof. Not just a roof, not a house that is yet to be furnished, a fully furnished 3-bedroom apartment to a name. So yes, today it's still talking financial prudency, talking financial responsibility, how you constantly make financial decisions that either makes you or mar you. And today we are focusing on when does it get enough? How does it get to the point that your financial obligation or financial support to family becomes a problem, and how do you checkmate it? And one of the reasons, or one of the ways I said you can actually checkmate that, is the fact that it is okay to say no. It doesn't have to do with whoever. Now, regardless of who is asking, it is okay to say no the moment you notice that if you give this 1 cent, it's going to affect your financial budget. It is okay to say no.
Do better thing, money not dey come from heaven. Do better thing, money go come. Na true word.
Yes, our time is so fast spent. Today we've been having conversations surrounding family, money, and responsibility. Now, one thing is clear. Please don't get me wrong on the program. Helping your family is beautiful. Helping your family is amazing. In fact, coming through, in fact, being the savior is top notch. But helping someone should not mean you are destroying yourself financially. You should not help to a point you now become someone who needs help. Yeah, that's the point. So you don't have to say yes to every request simply because you want to become the best person or because you earn more. You now take up responsibility so much that even those that feed off you now live better, now feed better, now look even more healthier than yourself. And yes, financial independency should not be a yardstick while you would abandon people who genuinely need your help. If you're financially buoyant enough, so much that you can help people, please help them. But once it becomes a problem, once it's eating deep into your savings, once you can't even account for anything you're doing meaningfully for yourself, you should know when to draw the curtain and when to say no. Now, the goal is to balance yourself, build yourself, save, plan, invest, become financially stable. And from that position, it is even better for you to actually help fix whoever you're trying to help, fix them up somewhere where they can even earn money for themselves instead of placing them on a budget in your salary where they get to milk you every month. Yes, it's very important that you understand that money sense isn't about just making money. It's about knowing how to manage what you've earned. So up until next week when we come again with another beautiful segment of Money Sense on iPower 102.7 FM, I am leaving you with this